I will tell another story, correctly and with skill, and you should lay it up in your heart, how gods and mortal humans have a common origin. The deathless ones, who have their homes on Mount Olympos, fashioned a golden race of mortal humans. They lived in the time of Kronos, when he was king in the sky. They lived like gods, without a care in their hearts, far away from pain and suffering.
What is a daimon? To the classical Hellenes, the word held many connotations: gods, tutelary spirits, demons, and genies. In Alexandria, the Agathos daimon was syncretized with the god Serapis, a deity comprised of the Egyptian Osiris and the Apis bull, which was later fused with more traditionally Hellenic deities such as Zeus and Hades. The earliest mention of the daimon are found in the divine poetry of Hesiod. Hesiod was born in the shadows of Mount Helicon, roughly around 750 BC. In his didactic poem, Works and Days, Hesiod recounts the tale of the first daimons. In the beginning, the earth was inhabited by the golden race of man, the first mortals created by Kronos himself. They lived like the gods, free from pain and suffering, and noble in all their ways. In the great Titanomachy, Kronos was usurped by his son Zeus, and the golden race, following in the footsteps of their maker, met their end. The newly crowned king of Olympus, in his jurisprudence and magnanimity, allotted to those fallen souls a governorship over the new race of man, those who would come to be known as the Silver Race. The newly appointed daimon were tasked with guiding mankind, instructing those living in matters of law, politics, and religion.
But after the earth covered over this race, that are called Daemon upon the earth, through the will of great Zeus, defenders from evil, guardians of mortal humans, who watch over judgments and wicked deeds, coursing everywhere over the earth, clothed in a mist, giving out wealth, for they received this kingly honor as well.
It is the Platonists who deliver the most detailed account of the daimon. To philosophers such as Iamblichus and Proclus, the daimon were beings essentially distinct from the mortal race. They were mediating spirits, neither god nor mortal, intermediaries residing between the two polarities, their souls forged by the demiurge and the cosmic creator known as the world soul, their essence drawn from the divine powers emanating from the gods. The daimon followed dutifully in the orbit of their leader god, submitting their will totally, and in doing so, revealing the good through their actions. There are 3 classes of daimon, each perform a unique role in the generation of the cosmos. The guardian daimon oversee the fate of souls fallen into generation. They govern all aspects of their mortal beneficiary's life, moderating their passions and desires, perfecting reason, and fulfilling the decrees of fate. Each soul and its guardian daimon are assigned to a god by the demiurge upon creation. Once assigned, both soul and daimon take on the characteristics of their god, affecting their inclinations, temperament, and destiny. Souls living in agreement with their essential nature choose a way of life sympathetic to the series to which they belong. Those bound to Aries lead a soldier's life. Lawyers and classicists often belong to the series of Hermes, while seers and prophets live in accordance with the solar series of Apollo. Through theurgy and ethical living, the soul begins to resemble its daimon. As they continue to assimilate the daimonic self, divine energies permeate their very being. The few souls who reach soteria, salvation of the soul, are bestowed the gifts of divine providence and liberation from the ties of fate. The daimon, which had been directing the soul up until this time, now surrenders its administrative role, and the leader god steps in, firmly established as the new overseer and guide of the purified soul. Such a tale is recounted by Porphyry in his biographic of the Neoplatonic founder Plotinus.
Plotinus, possessed by birth something more than is accorded to other men, an Egyptian priest who had arrived in Rome, and through some friend had been presented to the philosopher, became desirous of displaying his powers to him, and he offered to evoke a visible manifestation of Plotinus' presiding spirit. Plotinus readily consented, and the evocation was made in the temple of Isis, the only place, they say, which the Egyptian could find pure in Rome. At the summons, a god appeared, not a being of the spirit ranks, and the Egyptian exclaimed, "You are singularly graced. The guiding spirit within you is none of the lower degree but a god."
The second class of daimon are the punishing daimons. Operating universally, unconnected to any one soul, they carry out the judgment and punishment of impure souls. Punitive daimons advise mortals on the correct course of moral action, viewing all from a superior hierarchical position, unbeholden to temporal reality. They see the full consequences of any and all actions, and so work against unjust human endeavours whilst cooperating with the just. When necessary, punitive daimons can harm and even kill a human for their actions. The last kind of daimon are the relational or sublunar daimons, utterly without reason and devoid of intelligence due to having no participation in the divine mind. The sublunary spirits oversee the general functioning of the world, each allotted to a singular task. Their irrational nature makes them susceptible to trickery, and they are often commanded by magicians and sorcerers to carry out tasks. The human intellect, participating nous, acts as an organizing and directive force for the petty daimon. Sublunaries are totally submerged in matter, causing their appearance to bring about a sensation of eldritch disorder in those who witness them. The envelopments of Hellenic matter that form around their soul create a material vestment that requires purification in much the same way the human body does.
But, as I remarked earlier, there exists a certain class of powers in the cosmos, limited, devoid of judgment, and highly irrational, which are capable of receiving and obeying rational instruction from another, but neither has any understanding of its own, nor distinguishes what is true or false, or what is possible or impossible. It is such a class that is at once stirred up and startled when threats are brandished at them, since, it seems to me, it is in their own nature to be led by appearances, and to be influenced by other things through a foolish and unstable imagination.
All daimons strive to make the world the best it can be, not for mankind, but for the totality of life therein. It is this prerogative that unites the daimonic kinds. The guardian daimon guides souls toward the heavens, the gods, and the good. Punishing daimon purifies souls from the harmful accruements of Hellenic matter, and the sublunar daimons facilitate the continued functioning of our realm. Daimon ferry messages from the divine to the mortal realm. As mediators between the gods and man, it is they that possess prophets and priestesses when they deliver their oracles. In Plato's Phaedrus, Socrates explains the 4 types of divine madness instigated by daimons.
We distinguished 4 parts within the divine kind of madness and connected them to 4 gods. having attributed the inspiration of the prophet to Apollo, of the mystic to Dionysus, of the poet to the Muses, and the fourth part of madness to Aphrodite and to Eros. The madness of Eros is the best.
All daimon are associated with matter. Their manifestations, while frightening to witness, are nonetheless beautiful. Standing in contrast to the gods, daimonic forms are varied, lacking the uniformity typical of a god. They change forms on a whim, appearing both great and small in stature, their actions seemingly faster than thought itself. They move about with unsteady movements, engulfed in smouldering fire. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos on ancient philosophy, religion, and history. If you would like to learn more about Platonism, please have a look at my Substack, where I have multiple articles discussing the subject.